Welcome to the first episode of the Soul Sister podcast. This is SSP. I am your host, Poselero, with
Celine,
Kayla,
Bryan.
And today we're going to be discussing things. How was you guys this week? Did you guys do anything interesting this week? It's Wednesday?
It's been 3 days, bro.
I mean, you've been doing stuff. We just started school. Anything? Who wants to start us off? Celine, start us off.
it's been pretty chill because most of my classes are virtual. So, there were days that I just stayed in my rooms when it was really hot outside. So I'm really grateful for that.
Yeah, it's been low key hot. Walking out, it's not like Texas heat, but it's like Blacksburg. The sun beams on you. I feel it feels so weird. Brian's eating Chipotle, so he might not be available to talk for 5 minutes. But yeah. Anything exciting this week in school? Anything weird happen? Any bozos in class?
Oh, in my Asian American experience class, there was these two freshmen sitting next to me, and when they're talking and they're discussing, it reminds me of canon events on TikTok.
Yeah.
Everything they were talking about, I was like, I'm just not gonna say anything.
I felt that.
This one guy was like, I had 15 girls in my dorm with me and my roommate, and we were all cuddled up. And
What
I
a
was
Chad. What a Chad. So this is freshmen included?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, by the way, we're all sophomores here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brian, any input?
This Chipotle is really good.
Wait, we're not sponsored by Chipotle. No, but the canon events thing, when the Spider-Man movie came out, was so funny. I feel like what was that one? It was an Asian getting a bowl cut is a canon event.
Or, oh my god, it was behind every Asian girl with long hair. She went through the Dora phase.
Yeah, the
and
Dora
I did
phase.
in
Yeah.
second grade.
I feel like everyone went through the Dora phase. It was either the Russell phase or the Dora phase. Yeah.
You
But
did?
Or if you were a guy, you had the buzz cut too.
Yeah, the buzz.
They just
Cut it off, bro. They didn't even, no mercy. Did you have any of those, Celine? Did you have the Dora thing? Since you're not really from America, did you guys have something like that?
Haircut, when I was in first and second grade, but it wasn't specifically from Dora. It was just my mom gave me that haircut out of nowhere, and I kept it for 2 years.
the bob cut?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did
Dora
you
cut.
Did you guys fuck with Dora? Did you watching Dora?
Bro, I was scared of Swiper.
No,
when I
low
was
key.
little.
Low key, he's weird. He's a pedo.
He would come on the screen and I'd be closing my eyes no, don't.
I feel like Swiper's low key kind of weird.
I mean, nah. I fuck with Boots.
I like Boots a
are pretty
lot.
cool, yeah.
Did you guys watch the live action a couple years ago that came out?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I honestly didn't really like it.
No, I'm not gonna lie though. I mean, I forgot about the Dora, the live action. I remember seeing it in trailer, and then after a month or two, it was just gone. I don't remember it coming out.
Word.
I don't know. Speaking of animation and stuff, Dragon Balls, Naruto, and Dragon Balls, right? What was it? Dragon Balls. Wait, what's the name?
That's the name.
No, shut up. No, shut up. Stop. Fuck. What's the?
It's called, you said Dragon Balls, bro.
Dragon Ball.
She kept the Z in there.
Okay.
Dragon
Never mind.
Ball.
But they were super popular in Mongolia.
Oh, recently I've been watching a lot of Big Time Rush.
I love Big Time Rush.
Yeah, I'm on the second season. It's actually so cool. I genuinely mess with Big Time Rush. And did you see that they did a comeback?
Yeah, their
a
tour.
couple of years ago.
My friend was
yeah.
James Worldwide Girl.
Really?
Yeah, because she made a giant poster and then he picked her. Wait, no, she made him a bracelet when they first got into the concert, and then he was like, whoever made me this bracelet, I want you to come on stage. And she was
That's
crying.
crazy. That's wild.
Wait, how did that work though? Because couldn't any girl have just gone on stage?
No, they pick. They pick.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite, Kyle?
Can you guess?
James?
No.
Oh.
I can't believe you thought James.
I don't know.
I like Kendall.
Okay.
Kendall was always my favorite.
Who's the one with the helmet?
Carlos.
Yeah.
You would like.
You would like Carlos, bro. I feel no, Carlos was funny. They did him dirty though.
The corn dogs.
They did him so dirty because of like he was always like the stupid one.
Yeah. He was like a hopeless romantic too.
Yeah, I felt bad because he like with the Jennifers, he would always like try to like try to get with the Jennifers, bruh.
When I was little, my favorite was Kendall.
Yeah.
But as I got older, I like James.
Yeah, James. I like the thing he does where it's like, doo-doo-doo. You know what I'm talking about? You know, like the ooh. And then,
I don't think so.
You know what's Big Time?
No.
That's what she doesn't know.
You don't know about Big Time?
What about Alvin and the Chipmunks?
I know the
They're a pretty good
yeah.
band.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Alvin and the Chipmunks is pretty good. But, oh, guys, this week I went to this class, this history class, and it was like, I walked in, there was 40 kids, right? And I was the only POC. And it was like kind of awkward. I don't know if you guys know what POC is, but it's a person of color. And I felt out of place there, not gonna lie.
What class was it?
It was like history or something.
Just history.
Yeah, just history. It's like it's a pathway class. So like I just used it because Alan told me, my roommate, he told me about it, and I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna just do it. I'm gonna just see if it like
It's like
does
an
well.
easy like 3-credit class.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I don't even remember.
Probably social sciences, no?
Yeah, but I did it like, and then this week there's like a lot more people in there, and they actually brought like POC people. So like it's not yeah, the diversity quota wasn't as bad. Like a lot of people dropped the class because they heard like you have to be in groups. People hate being in groups. So, oh yeah, what do you guys feel about group group projects?
Like as in general.
Just in general, yeah.
I don't know. It's just like fine. For me, I get like really anxious sometimes because of like language barriers and stuff. Like, am I doing it like good enough?
No, me too.
As any other person in this group.
No, yeah.
But yeah.
No, literally, like I feel like I kind of have social anxiety when it comes to like group projects because I feel like my work ethic isn't as good as like the other people, and I don't want them to like clown on me for like being stupid and not understanding anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fair. I don't know. I mean, I just like doing shit alone.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie.
I low-key hate.
I ain't gonna lie. I just don't like group. Like as I grew up, I just don't like group projects. I used to like it back in middle school. That's 'cause I was lazy.
Yeah, because you were like, oh, let me try to get with my classroom crush, and then you never end up.
I be having like my 2 friends.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but
it was always like, oh, I either wanted my friends or my classroom crush.
that's fair. Yeah.
Yeah, but they would never put me with my classroom crush.
Did your my bad, but like, did your teacher ever do the popsicle sticks?
Oh yeah. The 1, 2, 3.
Oh my gosh.
Ready as
I hated that shit. Dude, I had such bad anxiety, especially if I didn't know the answer to something. I hated when they would do that because like, don't pick me. And then my A-push class was virtual because of the COVID year, and they still did popsicle sticks virtually.
Yeah, how do you do a popsicle sticks virtually?
So some people just didn't answer, and she would just be sitting there like, you need to answer. Da-da-da.
Yeah, teachers also just did like they did like the wheel.
Kayla.
Oh yeah. Teachers just did the wheel. Like they would just share their screen and they just do the wheel.
No,
and
bro.
I feel like that's just worse than popsicle sticks though.
I feel like teachers shouldn't be doing that. You know, like some kids just don't want to talk.
That's fair, yeah.
But like at the same time, it's just like people complain about it, but I feel like it's a skill you need to have. Like you're gonna be called at random sometimes, or like if your boss needs you, like you're gonna need to do it. So it may suck at first, but like it builds kind of like your confidence.
Yeah, but then it's just the thing with like social anxiety.
Yeah.
General. People just like they can't really handle that.
Speaking of social anxiety, did you guys ever have social anxiety, or did it get better?
Ooh, that's like such a huge thing. I used to have like such a huge like social anxiety and also like general anxiety, a lot. But I mean, it was like just because of my language skill. Like when I was like trying to practice my English, I would like have so many hard times like saying the words, saying like, I guess like in a correct pronunciation.
She's Mongolian, by the way.
Oh yeah, I'm Mongolian, and I came here like 4 years ago. But one thing that really helped me was like start working at Starbucks, because like there you have to like literally talk to every single person and start like having a short conversation, which I think like really helped me a lot. and start gaining my confidence using this language.
How long did it take to like learn English?
Oh yeah, was it hard?
Like
Did you know
effect. It was just like so. English in Mongolia, it's like it used to be like really pragmatic, in the sense that they would just like only work on grammars instead of like practical skills like speaking or using it in the sentences. Like we wouldn't know, like we would have no verbal like practice at all.
Oh, so does that mean like in Mongolia they taught you a little bit of English before you even came here? So you knew you knew English a little bit before you came here?
Just like words, if that makes sense. Okay. But the practice like started since I started like reading books and like watching a lot of movies. I mean, which I used to do back in Mongolia, but like when I started watching movies like maybe more like consciously, it was a really good practice. And I was also like in high school as well. And but even in my high school it sucked because literally 2019 COVID started.
Is it? No,
and
it's 2020.
2019 spring.
Did they ever put you in ESOL? Did they ever put you in ESOL?
I hated that shit.
Yeah, because they just
I
throw
hated that shit.
any accent you have, they just throw you in there. I got friends that I got Hispanic friends that just like they were thrown in there just because they were Hispanic, but they knew English.
Yeah. So what essentially happened was like, I came here and started going as a sophomore, and in my sophomore year, all of the classes that I had was like SLs. Classes, which I really hated because the program is super slow and the kids doesn't even do their homework, and I'm like,
she's an RA, by the way. Like, can you tell? Can you tell she's an RA?
No, it's just like super slow, like, which made me frustrated. But then I literally like worked so hard to get to like those AP classes starting my junior year, which I did. But yeah, like the progress was like that.
I have a funny story. Well, not funny. It was kind of annoying, but I'm trilingual, so I know English, Cantonese, and Vietnamese.
She crazy like that.
It's part of the story, Brian. But so my first language was Cantonese, and my second language was Vietnamese, and my third language was English. And
so you learn Canto and Viet before English?
Yeah.
And you don't have an accent?
No.
I respect that.
Because I learned when I was really young.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Asian kids growing up, they learn Canto first just because that's mainly what their parents taught.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Canto was my first learned language, but now I don't really speak Canto.
Yeah.
So
I learned English first and then Tagalog.
So
Filipino.
That's like backstory because I grew up in Virginia, but when I moved to Cali and lived there.
She a Cali girl.
Oh no. They asked, like, they gave me a form to fill out, and it was like asking what is your primary language that you speak at home. And at that point it was English because I don't really speak to my parents in Cantonese or Vietnamese anymore. But they asked another question that was like, what was your first language? And I was like, Cantonese. And because I put that my first language was Cantonese, they made me take like an ESL test.
That's messed up.
Even though they could hear that like I speak with no accent and I understood everything that they were saying, and I ended up getting like a 98.
No, that's actually messed up.
Yeah, and it was really annoying, but
yeah.
Yeah.
Do you hear that? Oh wait. No, speaking of social anxiety, I feel like I didn't have any as a kid until middle school. No, high school is where I started getting like a really self-conscious about everything. And I feel like you don't really have social anxiety when you're a kid, you know? Do you agree, disagree?
For me, it was less of like social anxiety and just like general anxiety. When I was younger, like I was really shy. But then when I started acting, I had to be outgoing.
No, yeah, that's fair.
So
I just feel like the roles were reversed for me because when I was a little kid, I used to be so like really, really outgoing. I would like talk to people anywhere on the street because like my grandpa would do that. I feel like old people, they can make friends so easily. They just talk to random ass people at Walmart. And
bro, yeah. It's because it's like a curve, you know? Like as a kid, you be talking to anyone.
Yeah.
And then like you hit a point where you're like, damn, I'm kind of anxious. I'm like, kind of introverted. But then like, as you get old, you're like, man, fuck yeah. I'm just gonna talk to everyone.
Yeah, that's kind of how it worked for me. But honestly, at the beginning of freshman year for college, I was like kind of like I had a lot of social anxiety, and I didn't really like talking to people that much. That's why when you first met me, he called me Hoodie. And then I was just like, oh, okay. I didn't really talk at all. Yeah. But then he came up to me, and that's when I started talking. It took a while for me to open up, but I feel like as the year went on, and we started going to more Asian events, that's when I started like expanding my bubble a little bit more.
No, I'm not gonna lie. Freshman year of high school, that shit like, it kind of forces you to be, just like to go out of your comfort zone.
High school or college?
Yeah.
Both?
Oh yeah, freshman year of college.
Yeah. No, it was scary. Like I came here, Texas. No, I didn't know anyone, and like I kind of had to force myself to make friends, or else I just would have been like a shut-in the whole time. And if it wasn't for FASA and like for the Filipino org and like the Chinese org, I probably wouldn't have friends right now. Yeah, because that's where I made like most of my friends.
The FREP event, or not the FREP event, the like just being a FREP in general.
Yeah,
like a freshman rep for CAS. That shit, like, dude. Yeah, dude,
yeah.
I was like forced to be outgoing. There were so many events where I was like, oh, damn.
Backstory: me and Bryan we were freshman representatives for our Chinese club. I'm not even Chinese, but we were freshman reps, and it really like taught us how to like talk to people and like get out of your comfort zone, because you really have to in like those situations, you know.
Funny thing, when me and Kyle first met, I thought that he was like weird or like rude. because it was at like a Mingle Week event, and he was just sitting in the corner.
No, see,
like
that's my social anxiety, bro.
But he also said that it looked like I didn't want to be there because I had my hoodie up and everything, which I low-key didn't. And then like I remember Bryan, I didn't meet him yet, and he had like his dyed hair with like the hearts.
Yeah, he looked really outgoing.
And he had like he did like an Instagram takeover, and I was watching all them, and I was like, who the fuck is this guy? Anyway.
No, but like I didn't want like I don't try to like come off as like rude or anything. I just don't know what to say to people. Like a lot of I've gotten a lot of comments saying like, oh, when I first meet you, you're like you seem kind of snobbish.
Me too.
Like, but like I just don't know how to like start convos. Like I don't want to disturb other people, and I don't want to like barge my way into like conversations.
I think for me it's just like I do have a social anxiety, but at the same time, like I guess I tend to give off this vibe of like a really cold person, I guess. And I would hear like a lot of like comments like, oh, I thought like you were so intimidating. And I'm like, I'm sorry.
I don't find that true.
Okay, you don't find that true because
I don't concur with that statement.
No, okay, but do you think it's just because like Asians in general just have resting bitch faces, and we just like, bro, like I know a lot of like chill Asian people, but they look mad annoyed all the time.
Yeah.
Okay, is it true? I'm gonna ask you too earlier.
What?
Like resting bitch face, or like me giving a cold personality.
Guy, she's trying to fish right now. But I don't think so. I don't really get that. I'm not really intimidated by like that many people.
Okay,
me neither. My mom intimidates me, bro.
No, low key.
My mom is 4'9" and scary, okay?
Bro. She's
literally 4'9". Vietnamese moms are scary.
Yo, I'm like 5 inches taller than my mom, and she still whoop my ass. Bro, she'll fucking run me into the ground.
Did you guys ever feel like in middle school or high school that you wanted to fit in and be white?
No, definitely. Actually, I hated being Filipino. Like up until probably my sophomore year of high school, because I grew up in Texas and I wasn't like whitewashed, but I had enough culture where I like knew my culture. I ate the food, and you know, like every Asian goes through that. Like there's a lot of Asians that like don't want to be Asian and they want to be white because they want to fit in.
It's just because the Asian stereotypes. That's how it is. Like as a kid, dude, like I'm so what's the word? Desensitized. I'm so desensitized to like Asian racism, like towards me, and like stereotypes towards me, because like I don't know, I heard that shit so much growing up. I'm just like, whatever, bro.
Like when people get offended by it, I'm like, why? It's like normal.
I'm like, yeah.
But that's not. That,
yeah, exactly. That's not normal.
It shouldn't be like that though. You know what I mean? Because like growing up, my brother would make jokes calling me like a banana, because he'd be like.
Yeah.
Because he'd be like, Kayla, bro, you're yellow on the outside, but you want to be white on the inside.
Oh,
but it was true, though, because, like, okay, I grew up in Richmond, which is very different from, like, Northern Virginia. And in elementary school, I grew up around mostly black and white people, but then I moved in middle school to a predominantly white area. And I remember getting there. Bro. But bro, it was so like, it was just such like a, I don't know, it was just weird going from like being around mostly like black and white people to like only a bunch of white people and trying to fit in and wearing like Simply Southern and having Vera Bradley and wearing Birkenstocks and all those things that were just like vineyard vines. Not that there's anything wrong with that. It was just like, it wasn't who I was. And then as I got older and I got to high school, I started to care less because it was like, why do I want to be white so bad? Because like now, like I love my culture and I wouldn't change it for anything because I love being Asian, because no one, like if I was white, I wouldn't understand what it's like to be a POC in America, which I think is very important.
Nah, luckily I didn't go to a very like white school. Like if y'all know Woodbridge, that
You're
shit.
so lucky.
Dude, Woodbridge is ghetto as shit. We got like, we have fucking, I got so many friends that live in trailer parks and everything. And then like it's so common. And
I'm hot,
like,
bro.
Dude, yeah, it's pretty hot. Like elementary through high school, I was always around Hispanic, other Asians, and like I had like just like black friends in general.
Yeah, no, me, yeah.
Yeah. So it was just nice because everyone like knew their culture, and then everyone just spread it around. I ain't saying like white people don't got culture, but like.
Okay. So for me, like, I was in Mongolia, and I personally, like, of course, would not go through those kind of like cultural like stuff as Asian Americans do here, experience here. But I was kind of like shocked by how like deep and strong like racism was here.
No, yeah, it's like a big topic here. Like, it's like a really huge problem.
And because like in Mongolia, we would like see black person as a black person. We just like, we're all human being, but with a different color, and that's it.
Hold on, pause. I ain't gonna hold you. Asians are racist as shit too. Bro.
Yeah, we are really
like,
racist.
You
Okay.
ever, dude? Like in
Older generation Asians are so out of pocket.
like in East Asia.
Yeah, like the grandmas and
Yeah,
the grandpas.
Eastern Asian, bro. If you're like black or like Hispanic, they'd be like,
Okay, what if I say that I've never seen someone like doing that? I mean, I may have seen it when I was young, but it wasn't like to the point that they would like discriminate anyone.
There was literally like, there's so many cases where like Asians were like being racist. Did you guys see that one TikTok of that white guy like getting mad at Filipinos or something because they were at the pond, and then the wife of the guy didn't do anything about it, like not defending her own culture, didn't do anything. It was like all over TikTok and everyone was talking. No, but like as I was saying, like there was a TikTok going around. They're at a lake, and then this guy was like getting mad because there was Asians there, and they were just standing, or they were just like trying to have fun, and then the guy like got really mad, and the wife didn't even defend him at all, and she was Filipino, I think, or Chinese or something like that. Isn't that wild?
Weird.
Damn, that's crazy.
My brother, that's crazy.
That's crazy.
That's crazy, bro. My brother made a really good point to me because, so we grew up in Richmond, but he moved to Virginia Beach, and Virginia Beach area has a lot more Asian population, especially a bigger Filipino population. Yeah, he lives in Virginia Beach now. But he lives in Virginia Beach. I live in Richmond. But growing up in Richmond, like, it was very normal to have like microaggressions towards you and everything, but he said like moving to Virginia Beach, it's very different because there's a bigger Filipino population, a bigger Asian population.
Go Filipinos.
People aren't
Jollibee.
as like, oh, Jollibee. People aren't as like outwardly racist. And I've also lived in California, and it's
They
Yeah.
do have a Jollibee in VB. That's my favorite one.
But I've also lived in California, and it was also like, my brother was saying people who live in Cali live in this like bubble because Cali is so populated by Asian people.
Yeah.
Like when I went to school there, I went from being like minority to majority.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. Like
Because they don't know what it's like.
People, there's so many in the Bay Area, like OC, CD, SD. There's like so many cases of just
Temple
a bunch
City.
of Asian. Temple City
I live
go
there.
crazy.
San Gabriel.
Did you see?
Arcadia.
Did you see that TikTok? With the other TikTok where it's like, it has to be said, I hate Asian friend groups.
I saw that.
That was like all over my feed.
Because they were saying like a lot of Asian friend groups are so like judgy or like cliquey and things like that. And I remember like before coming here, Ali was saying like, I'm not gonna say which Asian org because this is being posted, but she said one particular Asian org in general at Virginia Tech is very cliquey, and it's very much like you join the Asian org to gain like clout and like popularity, and if you're not in that friend group, like they do look at you different. And I think that stems from that specific Asian org's culture of like how their parents are. Because in that specific culture, like they are very judgy, especially older generations.
I've seen like we're not gonna sugarcoat anything. There's definitely a lot of like cliquey Asians here, but I feel like the org we're in, the CAS Chinese org, we're like really open to like everyone. And like our friend group, we're not all one race. Like we're completely different. Like we have like 3 Filipinos. We have Malaysian, Chinese, Viet, Mongolian.
Half white.
Yeah, half white, half black. And then we also have Cat.
Stay tuned, episode 2.
And then we also have Cambodian. Like Kelly's Cambodian. Like
I did not know that.
Kelly is like she's Chinese.
She's culturally Cambodian.
Yeah. So like our friend group is very diverse, and I never really understood like why people say like we're cliquey or like
Bro.
Yeah.
Bro, you know, fucking what's it called? Pat, when I was moving in, this bro was like talking Canto to my parents.
Oh really?
That shit geeked me, bro. That shit was so funny.
Yeah, but
I understand why people think that we're cliquey because I was like one of like the last people to be in our friend group.
Oh yeah.
And like,
so you've seen the group outside.
Yeah, I remember specifically like Big Little Reveal Day. I just saw like a bunch of you like cornered in like one corner, and it was kind of like you guys weren't outwardly doing anything, but I didn't want to like approach you guys because like I was anxious or like social anxiety, because it didn't give like that welcoming vibe because I didn't know any of you. I only knew Kat, but she wasn't even like a part of the friend group at that time. She just knew Celine, right? And I just remember you guys all sitting at a table, and in my head I'm like, how do they already have like such a big friend group when the year barely started? And it made me feel behind on like making friends. And then so like from that point forward, it just felt weird because like I was friends with like Kat or like people that were in that friend group but not in the friend group, so I felt like it was cliquey. But then when I started actually spending time with you guys individually or like in groups, it was very different.
Okay, so here's the thing, guys. Soul Sisters, we're just like 10 different individuals.
11.
Oh, I'm sorry, guys.
11.
Who'd you forget?
I don't know.
Who'd you forget?
See?
I thought there was just 10. Okay, so here's the thing. We are just like a people like just I guess under the name of Soul Sisters, but we are not like, we don't hang out with each other all the time. It's just gonna be like Pinoy boys, which is Eric, Paolo, and they're like
Pinoy. No, but like but what people don't understand, like we call each other the Soul Sisters because it's the name of the group chat.
Explain why it was named that at first, and then why why it's funny now.
What were the other iterations of our?
We were the Zesty Besties at one point.
It was what me.
It was me,
you,
Patrick, and Eric.
Yeah.
So the reason why we were called Soul Sisters at first is because none of us were Korean and none of us were girls. Yep. So we just thought it was funny. And then that's what we named the group chat. But imagine you go to like somewhere and instead of saying Soul Sisters, you say, oh, Kyle, Brian, Patrick, Paulo, Eric. And you just say all these names.
The Power Rangers.
Yeah, literally. It's so much easier to say like SS or like Soul Sister.
But explain why it's funny now.
It's funny now because we have like one Korean. Like she's not even full.
Yeah.
And a bunch of girls now too.
Yeah, we actually but yeah, I think our friend group's like not even cliquey. We hang out. If you really think about it, we really don't see each other that often. But yeah, at first we always hung out like every day. We'd like study together, and that's when we were on campus. But now it's just like
we saw you when we need. We saw you when we need to go to CID, bro. You were.
Yeah, bro. I was busy as hell last year, but it's only been 3 days since we've all been here. So.
Yeah.
And I've seen you guys so much. I'm not gonna lie.
Huh?
There's a vintage market. Sunday.
What?
We should talk about relationship stuff.
Oh, okay. I have some relationship questions. I have. But like no, as I was saying, like our friend group's not that cliquey. Okay, one of the questions I thought was like, if you don't date in college, do you think you'll be ready to date after college, or will you be a bad significant other? What do you guys think?
I think it's just like depends on the individuals, you know, like how much the person like grew, like on a personal, or academical, or like spiritual, like or any other levels that you could name.
I think. Wait,
No.
She had nowhere with that shit.
What did you say?
Bro, what? Run it back.
I heard spiritual. I'm like, what?
I heard academical.
I know. I definitely think I feel like when you're in your 20s, you're kind of like trying to find who you want to marry. When you're like younger, you kind of just date. I don't know. You just date to date, I guess. But I don't know.
I was gonna say, in my personal experience, like
Oh yeah, run the tea. I'm just kidding. That was a joke.
But in my personal experience, like dating from high school going into college, I think is very different than how it's been so far being here. Like not dating now, because when you date that young, I feel like you're used to being around your significant other so much, and you become sort of codependent. Obviously, every relationship is different. This is like my experience. I found myself being very codependent.
Yeah, I felt that.
And now, like, I feel a lot more emotionally independent, and I think it's very important for everyone to be emotionally stable, and not to be cheesy, but like when everyone's like self-love matters, it does.
Cornball.
Because it's true. Like, how are you supposed to love somebody else if you don't even love yourself?
Yeah, that was a huge problem. I feel like a lot of people in high school, they date, but they didn't really like themselves, because they're very insecure.
To like feed that insecurity.
Yeah.
Which nothing wrong with that, because everyone goes through it.
I went through that too. Yeah. But do you guys think that high school dating helps you for dating in college, or do you think it's a completely different ballgame?
Does someone else want to talk, or? Because I don't want to talk so much.
I mean, it's different, but it still helps, because at least you're exposed to what a relationship is.
Yeah.
Because if you go into college and then you like say that's your first relationship, it happens a lot, but it's very rocky, because the workload from college to high school is very different. So depending on like your major, or like your way of life and how everything is, you might get too caught up in work and like sometimes you just forget about the relationship. I mean, and like that's kind of just where communication comes in play. And that's where like being in a past relationship, where assuming you were in like a communicative one, then that's where it helps.
Speaking of like that kind of stuff, how do you rank what's important in your life? Do you put your significant other before like your career, or like your friends, or do you kind of just like is it below your friends and your career? What do you think? Or yeah, and family too.
Forgot the family. You're Filipino, man. Filipinos all about family.
I love my family. Oh, if you guys are watching this, I love you guys.
Y'all can't even pronounce family.
My family.
Hey,
but for on the real note, like, what do you guys like rank?
For me, it's gonna be like family, my career, and my significant other, and friends. But it's kind of different, like when it comes to priorities. Like when you're in college, the friends are gonna be like surrounded by you all the time. So also, it's important to like that you network with other people and getting to know new people.
For me, I think I would rank it the same. Family, career. I think I would rank family and career like as number one together. And then after that, I would put significant other and friends. But I do think it's very different, because especially Kyle, you know, like being in a long distance relationship, like it's very hard to put your significant other over your friends that are like physically around you. But I will say, like last year, like I did put my significant other over my friends, but it's because like, you know how we were talking about the other day, your significant other is your best friend.
No, yeah.
So your best friend should be above like all of your other friends. And I think some people might disagree with that, but I also think that it depends on context and depends on the situation. It depends on how long you've been with the person.
If you disagree with that, you're a cornball.
Bruh.
I'm just saying.
It depends on how long you've been with the person, and it also depends on how serious the relationship is. Like, say you just started dating the person for a month. Okay, they might not be above all of your other friends.
No, yeah, for sure.
But like,
yeah.
say it was like, you know, our past relationships.
Like 2 years, yeah.
It was above like our friends.
I kind of, as learning a long distance relationship, I kind of did the opposite. Sometimes I would like prioritize like my friends over like calling, and like that like in the long run it didn't really like pay off because like, you know, like I didn't prioritize my long distance relationship, and then like I was just trying to live my life here and get adjusted to it. But I feel like finding a balance is just really important. Like just finding like putting time for everything else and understanding that there's so much things happening. You're always gonna feel FOMO, but like at the end of the day, everyone is always doing their own thing. Everyone's like trying to do their own lives, so you should do your own.
FOMO's a real big thing in college.
Yeah, FOMO's really bad here. Like sometimes, I'm not gonna lie,
I forgot who in our group said they got FOMO. Like they had pretty bad FOMO.
Paulo.
It was Paulo. Yeah.
No, sometimes I do get, like last semester I got a lot of last year I got a lot of FOMO. I remember I tried to like rush to do stuff so I can hang out with you guys, but FOMO's a really big deal, and if you like don't control your FOMO, then you're just not gonna have a good time in college.
Yeah.
But going back to the ranking, I think what the fuck?
Wait, can I say something first
Yeah.
about the FOMO? I would get FOMO a lot when you guys would hang out because I wanted to go hang out, but I was just so busy with like acting, dance.
Really?
and
You had
school.
FOMO?
Yeah,
That's
because,
crazy.
bro, I did
That's
have FOMO
crazy.
because the thing is like, I mean, right when I started being friends with you guys, I didn't see you guys much, so it just kind of felt like I wasn't as close with everybody, and it wasn't even like something I could control because I was just, you guys know, like I was always freaking busy.
Yeah, we're all doing our own thing. We're all hustling.
Yeah,
So like,
but
yeah.
I also had FOMO like every time I would see like my roommate would go out to like parties and stuff, but I'm not the type of person to go out and party all the time, but seeing everybody in college around you like go out all the time, it makes you want to go out. But I know that like I would get drained from going out.
I feel like college really tests you if you can stay true to yourself. But like my ranking would be like, I feel like everyone else had a pretty standard ranking. I would definitely put family and career at tied, because at least in your 20s, I feel like you should definitely prioritize your career a lot because you're building the foundation. But then like once like you're more established in your career, that's when you start prioritizing your family a lot more. Because there's a lot of people who fall in the trap of like work and not putting their family. And that's why a lot of people get divorced or they get lonely about it. And then after that, I would probably put significant other and then friends.
Who sings that? Oh, yeah, you're right.
But yeah.
Is she still pregnant?
Is there anything else we want to talk about in this pod? The jealous thing? What? Oh, yeah. I had this conversation with Celine before. Do you think guys who are jealous is a red flag? What? Like, explain your point again.
Oh, again? Okay. So, I'm just gonna say, like, jealousy is, in general, is a bad thing, but it's a natural thing. Like, there's nothing wrong, like, if you're experiencing jealousy towards your significant other. The reason I'm saying why it's a red flag is that first, like, you're showing that you don't trust your significant other, which means like you don't trust their integrity. And second, it's like also like if my boyfriend was jealous of me, I would think that I'll kill you, Kyle.
Because you pointed at me, I'm not her boyfriend.
Oh no, it was just my hand. Okay. I would be like, so first you're also like challenging like how I judge other people, and also like you're challenging my integrity. Like if anything was going to like really going to happen, or like if things were really true, I would really like catch myself or like stop myself, or I would like take any actions that would prevent that from happening, if that makes sense.
I feel like I kind of disagree with you. I don't feel like it's always like you're questioning the person's integrity. Coming from like, because a lot of jealousy happens in long distance, and you've never been in long distance, so you don't really know what the... Oh, really? Yeah. How many miles? I don't... How many miles, bro? No, but like on the real, like I feel like it's not necessarily you don't trust your partner or like their integrity. You don't trust the other person's integrity. And like they could be taken advantage of. They can be the ones on the other end that could like potentially either getting hurt or just stuff like that, or it could be like from past trauma. You know, it's not always about like the other person. And most of the time, a lot of jealousy is not because of the other partner.
Yeah, so that's where it comes to like healing yourself and like being more communicative with your partner.
But sorry, but like even if you like work on yourself, say you're very like you could be very confident in yourself. Jealousy could just be like an innate like nature thing, because you could always just
that's what I said. Like,
it's exactly. And then also there's just times where you can't communicate. Like say, like y'all have been to parties. You're not on your phone during a party. So say you're like, say your significant other's texting you or something, you're most likely not going to respond. And then knowing like you could trust your significant other with the whole relationship and respect them and everything. But then it comes to the thing of you don't know who they're with. You don't know what could be going on. There's definitely going to be alcohol involved at a college party. It's just the context, and there's a lot of – it also just depends on the environment.
I think that I disagree with you saying that it's a red flag, but I also think that it depends on the situation because, you know, every context always matters. But for me, I think that when your partner is jealous, it's not necessarily a red flag because I think it also shows like that they care. I think it would be a red flag if your partner was never jealous.
Yep.
Because if they're never jealous, like why do you not care if somebody hits on me? Why do you not care if somebody does something that you know you should be doing? But I also think that there's a fine line between jealousy and like controlling and then like crazy. Because like I know this is just an example, but some guys in relationships control what their girlfriends wear, and I'll be damned if I ever let a guy tell me what I can and cannot wear. Okay, but the thing is like at that period. But at that point, like I think that crosses the line of jealousy into controlling because you know. Obviously, you can't control what other people do, but you shouldn't be controlling like what your partner does. But you should communicate and express to your partner what makes them comfortable and uncomfortable. So like in that situation, if my significant other was uncomfortable with me wearing certain things because they didn't want people to look at me a certain way, I would respect it more if they just told me that rather than being like, don't wear that. Then I would understand, and obviously I wouldn't want to make them uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I would totally
I lost my train of thought, bro.
I totally agree with you, Kayla.
Yeah. No, but back to what Celine said about jealousy being a red flag. I feel like everything fuck, I forgot what I was like. When there's too much of something, it's always gonna be bad. You know, like there's always like supposed to be a balance.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you are jealous, that's fine, but it's the way you control your jealousy that really shows your integrity and shows like the kind of person you are.
Yeah, I totally agree with it because I think we should like start like differentiating the words between like jealousy and controlling or manipulating your partners or like the behaviors and stuff.
Because being jealous is normal.
Yeah.
And like Bryan said, like, if you're not jealous, why? You know, that I think is a big red flag.
But I feel like a lot of times if a guy is not jealous and they're not really doing anything, they just have a lot of confidence in their partner and in themselves. Yeah. That's a huge factor too.
I think it depends how long you've been
There's also it's time, but there's also another thing with, because on social media you always see that like girls are like, oh, it's a red flag if they're jealous. Oh, this, that, it's an ick. It's like, it's that. Yeah. So guys probably just portray that they're not jealous anymore just because of, just because of all that social media stuff.
Social media affects relationships so much.
That shit is terrible for relationships.
Especially like TikToks, like they'll be like, oh, like if this is this, like your boyfriend's cheating on you, and then like, dude, like your boyfriend is probably not cheating on you, but when you see that shit so much, like it gets in your head and then it creates more insecurities. And I think that a lot of people forget that social media is just, it's fake, because you know how on Instagram stories when you can keep them up on your profile, it's called highlights. It's called highlights for a reason. It's like the highlights of your life. So a lot of times people compare and they see, but you never really know what's going on in somebody's life or what's going on in their relationship. But a lot of people tend to compare their relationship to others, and I'm guilty of that. And it did affect my past relationship a lot.
Also, the comments just be full of shit.
Yeah, low key.
Comments are so bad, bruh.
I feel like we all fall into that trap of like, oh, I see this on social media. Why don't we like this? But like, you gotta understand we're human, and like relationships are just like a learning process as well. Like if you've been with someone for 50 years, I feel like you're still learning. There's so much, like life is just all about learning. And that's just something that we have to deal with. Like there's gonna be bad times and good times, but it really just depends. Like I said before, it's just how you control the situation or like how you handle the situation that really like shows if your relationship can make it or not.
Totally agree with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that should we wrap it up here? I feel like it's a pretty good place to end. Well, thank you guys for watching the first episode of the Soul Sister podcast. Like, subscribe, and comment. And the next episode is going to be completely new people. And then we'll bring back another cast.
Except for Kyle.
Yeah, that's all my equipment. So
Except for our host, Kyle Poselero.
Oh, yeah. But I hope you guys enjoy. Subscribe, like, and favorite, share.
Join the notification.
Join the notification squad.
On Instagram and TikTok.
We're SSP. Oh, sorry.
Oh, hey guys.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I wasn't. I was saying follow us on Instagram and TikTok. I'm sure, Kyle, you can edit it in wherever it is.
Yeah, we might need more mics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I hope you guys enjoyed. This is the SSP, and we'll see you guys in the next podcast. Bye.